Hello, my name is Rosario Aurelius, and welcome to Atana, where poetry and magic meet. Last week I was under the weather and spent the time getting some rest. This week I'll be reading a few of my newer poems, Weeping Angel, Emergence, and The Chariot. The overarching theme among these is overcoming shared and personal past drama, trauma, and moving forward. The only thing any of us can ever be truly responsible for is our own actions and ourselves. So without further ado, Weeping Angel. There is a flower whose petals are torn beyond her age. She trembles in a dress that does not fade. An angel whose eyes weep beyond the veil. And in our house, the chill in her bones has rattled the very stones of this foundation. She has shut the windows, barred the doors. She has closed the shutters. She read the cards from the old temple she once loved, but its master stole pieces of her heart and siphoned her soul. She spoke with her eyes as they pierced the soulless frames and accursed stones. From the bones of those lies she arose, and then she left. We danced on the silver crescent of the night. We danced on the back of a dragon, on scales of ultraviolet light. Now her three of swords is here, in a place where the wind-swept drapes cling to her wind-kissed soul, where my harlequin danced the waltz, the ghost of a fool. She now closes the veil, lighting up the flares of her earthly triangle of the art, geospatial phasic as the cloak of the night enfolds her particles of dust. Her tears well up. I can only catch them with my chalice. Emergence. We sat together watching the rain, battered by the relentless winds that rattled the windows of our souls. Georgia picked up her spear and ran screaming at the glass, the solid pain that confined us in an age-long trance. Shattered into myriad pieces, shadows, specters of Marian violets past. We wept tears and built shrines of shrouds to conceal our names. Each of our stories always contained a subject that made us a slave to another man's passions, not stories that spoke our names or taught the world the joy and fury of the honeyed speech upon our lips. The scarlet thread led the way out of the labyrinth, the twisted gardens of man's bestial display, where his monstrosities prayed and slayed his love, as she lies slain a sacrifice, buried beneath strata of sediment, beneath the lush firmament. Her bones lay the charnel house, the pit of dust for the self-aggrandizement of some wandering eye. We are not empty cups to be filled with the light of some roaming godhead, nor fantasies or vessels that comforted you from the catastrophe of cosmic collapse, nor scapegoats to satisfy the weakness of your resolve. We are not your servants, serfs, or slaves. You have outdone yourself with cruelty to divide sister from sister, that one should defend you, promulgate your right to prey upon the daughters of the goddess, because you felt it was your right to possess. 21st century emperors still dominate by might, to rule with the sword and the wand. But Babylon declares, "Tell my daughter that my rights are wild and free, not for those who fear the wrath of the Minotaur, or women who uphold the rights of men to enslave their sisters, nor for men who squeeze every ounce of lifeblood from our lives, turning maidens into haggard corpses, then castigate us for poor upkeep." The Chariot. All the stars in their midst shine like black diamonds beneath the veil of light. I know not what I am, only that I hold the light. Radiant from a jeweled throne as it slips as a shallow stone, skips across the surface of the waters. As paint drips flowing by a hand unseen that guides the brush. In scenes of Sumi-ai. Then the brush sweeps and scatters the paint into a pointillist stream. As two forces of nature, two serpents entwined, rise from a single source. From a point, a speck of dust, a star. Some recent news. I will be signing books at the St. Louis Pagan Picnic on Saturday, June 4th from 11 to 3. So if you're in the area, please join me there. If you enjoyed these, please let me know. If you have recommendations for future readings, please leave a message in the comments section below. Once again, thank you for watching and have a great day.